seriously. Take it.
Hello, I'm Louisa and this is Alex, and we're from Out Bookstore, and we're here to review some books for you, and they are about bees. Not birds, just bees.
Bees.
Sorry.
Bees reviews.
Yeah, bees. They both get B pluses.
Or better.
Okay, so we're going to start with The Sting in the Tail because it's one that we've both read. This is a really beautiful non-fiction read. It's written in such a way that you just feel like you've stepped inside the life of Dave Goulson, and he is, well, he's a biologist, I suppose, but his field is definitely bees, isn't it?
Bees, yeah. He is the man for bees.
He's the bee man.
Specifically bumblebees.
He's the bumblebee man, exactly, specifically bumblebees, and he's very troubled by the fact that in rural England, as in many places, bumblebees are in trouble.
They're in big trouble.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are extinct, and that is very troubling because we will probably all die if there's no bumblebees.
That's right, bees are an important part of almost all flower-based ecosystems.
Exactly.
And their role as pollinators is almost impossible to replicate.
Yeah, and also they're really cute. So why don't you take it from here? I'm making too many jokes.
The Sting in the Tail, I'd say, is a wonderful read for anyone who enjoys really high-quality nature writing. It's the Gerald Durrell. It's another good example.
Well, not nature writing, but Edmund de Waals, Here with the Amber Eyes. Just beautiful fiction writing. It's very sort of gentle and
very gentle,
gorgeous, very
an
vivid.
Interesting man, just going through the world, looking at interesting things.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the world, he does come to New Zealand, which is, always a plus.
Very relevant.
Very relevant. We are actually very relevant to the story because New Zealand has a lot of bumblebees that have died off in England, and the way that they got here is a really interesting story as well. It is.
We're not going to spoil it.
No, that's the twist. So you would have read this first and then moved on to this, and that probably informed your reading.
Absolutely.
Of this. Now tell us about the bees.
We're not trying to upsell you. You don't have to buy both to enjoy them. But I thought that Laline Paull's The Bees was an exceptional book in that it did what the best fiction does. It takes you inside a world that you will never experience, and it makes the rules of that world clear to you very slowly, very thoughtfully, and with a lot of surprises.
As the best sci-fi does.
And I would have to say that this book, which is the story of a bee called Flora 717, is up there with some of the real classics of that genre. It's about a person, in this case a small buzzing person, who sits uncomfortably in the confines of their little world, and it's sufficient. It had a real emotional heft to it. I'd compare it to Watership Down, The Handmaid's Tale. It continuously surprised me, and it manages to do a lot of very clever things without losing sight of a very important emotional story about one little buzzy person trying to find their way. Buzzy person. She's
a buzzy girl.
I couldn't recommend it highly enough. I think that Laline Paull's background as a dramatist is really evident in her incredibly tense kind of control of the story, and left me very happy to have read it, and very much enriched for having read The Sting in the Tail as well.
Read about bees, people. They're very important.
Bees are important.
And they're really cute.
Wonderful things.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah!
That was great.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
There's a bitter taste in my mouth. There's a bitter taste in my mouth. There's a bitter taste in my mouth.